All righty. Wonderful discussion, y'all. Hope everyone learned all of the amazing, abundant possibilities with NFTs in our community. And next, we want to highlight what a leader in the global digital renaissance that is happening right now, IX Shells, who currently holds the record for the highest grossing NFT artist as a woman, as a Black person, and as a Panamanian. And so to bring in this conversation, to, to bring in this conversation, we want to welcome Sin Bahati of herstoryDAO to facilitate a conversation with the wonderful, extraordinary, generative NFT artist, IX Shells.
Um,
Go
Eric
ahead.
already gave you a great interview or a great introduction, and I just wanted to ask about a little bit about your background for those of us who don't know.
Yeah, sorry, there's a delay. I was already introducing myself. My name is Itzel Yard, aka IX Shells or X Shells, and I'm from Panama. I work with computer science. I study computer science. I started creating artifacts and patterns while studying it and understanding myself a little bit more. And I started doing NFTs since February, basically. It hasn't been a long time ago. And it's been great. It's been a great journey and evolution of my career.
Yeah, you only started in February. That's insane. I don't think a lot of people know that you really started this year, and in a year's time in this space, you've been able to accomplish this amazing feat of being the highest selling female NFT artist ever. How has your world changed since making that accomplishment?
Well, now I have the opportunity to spread my word to more people all over the world. More people recognize my name and what I've been doing for years. On the background, I've been managing a community of creative coders for about 4 years, where I share their art, I share their experiences and what I think and feel from their outputs. And now using my platform, I can help them get out there more, because generative art has always been a very undervalued career or discipline. And I feel like now it's getting to be known more and more, especially from projects like art blocks and some of the few projects that focus on generative art, specifically on Shane.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, X is referring to the Creative Code Art, which is a online platform that you run. I want to know, X, if what do you see the future of generative art, especially in the metaverse, and how do you think NFTs will help usher in more generative artists?
Sorry, can you repeat that last question?
Yeah. So basically, I was asking about how you view the future of generative art, especially within the context of NFTs, and if this space could, or if not, or just the way you envision the space helping generative artists kind of get onboarded into NFTs.
Yeah, for sure. I recently created a Discord where I introduce artists each week. I managed to select an artist to help them talk about their process, even if they have time, have a live conversation showing what they're doing, how they do it. And at the same time, there's more people in the server that are just learning. And I feel like they get inspired, just like me. I get really inspired when I see my colleagues teaching and their, the many perks of creative coding. And I even, like, after every live session, I feel like creating myself. I get into a marathon of just coding for 2-3 hours, or trying to find errors or like everything in between. But it's just really fun to be among the same people that, you know, like practices the things that you like.
So what initially got you into NFTs? You were already doing, I guess, you were already in the digital space. What made you want to take the transition into the NFT space?
Well, I've been aware of it since October last year, since, you know, what was happening with other artists, which are more famous. But I didn't think that it would be possible for emerging artists to, you know, jump on it and be able to, you know, earn the same or be at the same position as them, until some of my friends showed me the Art Blocks project, which is immutable generative art on chain. And one of them made a drop, which sold out in 20 minutes. And just by seeing him and how he managed it, his success, and like how he created this whole world around his tokens, like I got inspired to try myself. But I started with one-on-ones because most of my art is very like each of my outputs are very unique in a way, and it's hard for me to create a series of the same thing. So I started asking about which platform was emerging the most at the time. And my friend Nicole Ruggiero, who is a 3D artist, she introduced me to Foundation. I got into the Discord. I started seeing like how things were moving around, and you know, they work with invitations, so I had to carve my way in.
Yeah, Foundation is, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, my first collector was someone that has been around NFTs since 2017. His name is Keigani Turner. And he saw me in a write-up from Felsign. And I think that helped a lot to, you know, give me visibility and feel like that's something that's needed in the space. A lot of write-ups and, you know, conferences like this that showcase the artists, and so more people can see them before they even jump into trying to sell NFTs. Like, it's not as easy as you just mint and yeah, you sell. You also need like a whole set of like story around your career and what you're doing and why you're doing it, and showing the investors, the collectors, that you're here to stay in the long term. It's not just money grabbing and then leaving.
Yeah, Andrew, I 100% agree. And you've definitely marked your place in the metaverse as someone who's going to be here for the long run. And you've also made amazing connections along the way, like through Foundation. You were able to meet Diana Sinclair. And from there, we were able to meet through Diana and start herstoryDAO. So it's just been an amazing journey from the outside looking in. So my next question for you is, actually I have so many, but like, how do you feel in this space as like a Black woman in an art form that's not incredibly, I'd say, diverse? And we've talked about this before, but how does that feel in the day-to-day? Do you feel any maybe bias from collectors or what have you?
I mean, bias from collectors in the sense of as an artist, or
yeah, as an artist, just as who you are, does that ever come up for you?
Not really. So far, it's been amazing. Like I've become friends with all my collectors. I have a wider range of them, like more than 10, and I've managed to send them prints, and we just have long conversations about my work, which is one of the things I like the most. Like I started sharing my work because I wanted to know and have feedback from the people around me and see how they felt with it. It's like, it was a way for me to express my emotions. So I wanted to make sure that someone was getting the message, and it wasn't just, blur black and white lines or patterns like lost in the social media verse. But it's been amazing, like since the very start. Like I've gotten to know many people, even before NFTs, that really enjoy and have a connection with my work, what I write about it, what the story that I try to express with it. So far, I feel like my collectors are like my followers, on like the followers that I've been building up on social media, and it just feels great. It feels like there's a long-term support from them. They want to see me grow. Even the tour project team is like that. They keep sharing about my work, sharing the articles that come out, even though there's no obligation after what happened, but I feel like they can see in me an emerging artist still that needs to be seen. It's the attention around the sale hasn't been as great as other artists have had. That's something that I've noticed. Like if I had 100,000 followers, I'd probably get way more attention, but obviously like that's what happened in the system we live in. The ones on top are the ones that get the attention, but I think people like us are changing that, and yeah, it feels better. You're muted, I can't hear you.
Thank you. I was just saying, well, shouts out to the chamber for having this space so that we can spotlight you and amplify you in a way that benefits you and us as people who love NFTs and everything. So thank you so much for having this fireside chat with me. Was there any last comments, any social medias you wanted to share, or anything?
Sure, you can find me as IX Shells all over, or Itzel Yard. And yeah, my DMs are open for anyone that wants to know more about me, my process, my work. My other accounts where I share generative art. If you want to start learning somehow, I feel like my next steps after this year will be start teaching and creating tutorials so more people can create art on chain without feeling that there's a barrier of knowledge, because you need to know how to code, but it's not that difficult. It just takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Well, thank you so much.
Katie.
Thank you.